Guys, I don't think you know what's about to happen. Ash and I met on Twitter because she posted something about Out Cold that Mark Ellis liked, and I saw it. And this movie for me is one of those where if you hear somebody mention it or quote it offhand, you instantly have to stop what you're doing, go to them and be like, "Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm your new best friend because I love this as much as you do, obviously." And I think I actually did that to you verbatim at Mark Riley's Christmas party a few years ago.
At the Christmas party, yes. I remember this so well because, Out Cold is like this small, mighty community where we find each other. And we're like, oh, you like Out Cold too? Oh, my God. Yeah.
Like I remember I was at like a bonfire or something, and like somebody was roasting marshmallows and mine caught on fire, and I was like, needed burning, and threw it behind me, and someone was like, "I'm sorry, what did you just say?" I was like, "It needed burning." And he goes, "Now, did you do that on purpose or was that an accident?" And I'm like, "Out Cold?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Come sit, go grab beers and sit, and we will be friends forever." I still talk to him. This was like 14 years ago.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, this movie is so great in so many different ways. For those who haven't seen it, just a heads up. It was made it came out in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much an early 2000s bro comedy. So be prepared for that. It is also Zach Galifianakis's like introduction to us. So it's baby Zach and the humor to go along with that. Now I am watching this on, I did the 7-day trial for Cinemax. How are you watching it? Do you have the...
I purchased it. I purchased it on Amazon Prime years ago, so I just have it in my library.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a very beaten and battered DVD that is like the love of my life on my shelf.
I refuse to get rid of my DVDs, although I'm like, they're very dangerously close to not being able to be played on anything anymore, I swear.
Yeah, it's getting there. But I have ripped most of them onto hard drives, so that's all that matters. I'm like, I am going to keep you, but I love the physicality of it, and they're pretty.
Treasured item.
Yeah, very much so. I think this case was actually run over by one of my tour buses, and the disc was out, and thankfully, because I probably would have cried, because it was in like the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, where am I going to get a copy? And then I opened it, and it wasn't there. I was like, oh, it's in my laptop. Okay.
Was it in there? Was it in there? No. Okay, thank God. The one time.
Yeah. So I've got it queued up to 16 seconds. It's right at where the Touchstone Pictures has already like bling. So if you guys want to queue that up, you guys all ready? Send me something in the chat. Let me know that you guys are all ready. Because honestly, we're just going to be quoting this the entire movie because it's what you have to do. It's also going to be a sing-along at the beginning. So maybe pull up the lyrics to Anytime by Eve 6 and sing along with us. All right. Guarantee Ash has it already. Yeah, of course she does. We own this. I just didn't know like where she was. You ready to go?
I'm at 17 seconds. I see a little spyglass thing.
Perfect.
Pause. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Ready? Everybody in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Perfect. So I don't know if this, obviously if you're of age and would like to partake in a small drinking game, I do have one available in my binder of drinking games that I have created and curated over the years of some of my favorite movies. It's a mess. It's gross. It's so old, but I love it. And I have an Out Cold one in here.
I'm down for it, guys. I'm down. Let's do this. So what are the rules for this one?
I have to preface this with like small sips because otherwise you will pass away by the end of the movie.
Otherwise you might wake up the next morning with your dick stuck in a
hot tub.
Yeah.
Yes. So the first one is Anytime Someone Wipes Out. There's obviously a huge montage at the beginning. So right off the bat, like we're getting started. Anytime the brothers mess with each other, Zach Galifianakis and Pigpen. Anytime they drink, it's actually not that often, but during the King of the Mountain one, that's pretty frequent. Yeah. Majors is a huge jerk. The new guards act like jerks. That comes in like the back half of the movie. Anytime the bartender hints at his sexuality. Anytime
Dan has a line. Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's like, I love girls. blatant Casablanca reference, and then anytime you hear Jack Johnson. And that's the game.
What the fuck?
So there's your first Wipeout.
This seems like one of those movies. Like there are so many drinking games for Kevin Smith movies that like I've compiled all of the lists. Oh god damn it. I'm just doing it for this montage. You get one swallow, and I just did.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. One.
So fun fact about this song. Well, not so fun fact, honestly. So Eve Six, who is now, I guess, a friend of the pod because they are big Out Cold stans. And I started talking to them on Twitter because of Out Cold. And now we talk on Twitter pretty frequently. And we invited them here. So I don't know. Maybe they'll surprisingly pop up. I doubt it, but who knows? Anything can happen.
You never know. You know what? This is how I know anything can happen. I ended up with like our fourth show of the Rewind, which is about Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. We got the creator on.
Oh, we should tweet at every single Out Cold cast member right now.
Yes,
and see if they'll come. I feel like Flex could do it if he saw it.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Like I feel like Flex, maybe a David Koechner situation. I have a feeling Zach Galifianakis is not going to show up, but like, let's shoot for the moon, you know?
You know what? The worst people can do is ignore you or say no, and I don't care.
So yeah, this song, Anytime, was like made for this movie, I guess, and it's not on any of Eve Six's albums. And if you like go on Spotify, you can't even get this song. It's really annoying. And I asked Eve Six about it, and they said that they don't know. It's like the Taylor Swift situation where they don't own the masters and they don't know who owns the masters. So they're going to have to re-record it if they want to release Anytime. So they need to do that.
Yeah. I bought the album again. Like I think I bought their first album like 3 or 4 times. And then I just illegally downloaded the song off of YouTube.
Of course.
Just because I'm like, look, here's $35. I just want this one song and I'm going to do it illegally. So I'm really sorry.
Funny. Oh, did Flex delete his Twitter?
No.
Oh.
That would be heartbreaking. I want him on so badly.
Flex.
I do remember when AJ Cook first appeared, like when I first started watching
Criminal Minds,
and I was like, wait a minute.
So I just recently started doing a Criminal Minds rewatch. I'm on like season 5 or something like that.
So good.
And yeah, my partner was like, I recognize this girl. And I'm like, just waiting for it. I'm like, yeah, you do. She's from Out Cold.
Hey, Jenny! I swear, like it's gonna be one of those involuntary things. If I ever meet her, I'm just gonna like scream Jenny at her and I'll be like, I'm really, really sorry.
I've interviewed Zach Galifianakis twice now, and I brought up Out Cold both times, and it caught him so incredibly off guard. Like he was just like, he's like, the 2001 snowboarding movie. He's like, I've never been asked about that movie in my entire life. Like, because I'm sure everyone's like, Hangover, like,
no.
And here I am asking about Out Cold.
Well, kind of a tie-in because I love to pair this movie with the movie Grind, and so I love these two movies like more. Like you know our love for this. I have the same love for Grind, which is stupid. It's about skateboarders and like they're following a show. It's very like quasi Warped Tour feelings.
Yeah,
it's super fun. And Adam Brody is in that movie. Now Adam Brody is also a drummer whose band opened or played a show with another band that I worked for when I was living in LA in my 20s, and I got to meet him and I was like, oh my god, like I was like, dude, that was a great show. I didn't know I knew he was a drummer, but I didn't know he was that talented. And so I like went to talk to him like while they're loading out, like, dude, it was such a great show. Like I was like, by the way, I am a huge fan of Grind, and he went off on me and was like, why do people like that piece of shit movie? And I was like, this was like 3 years after the OC got canceled. And I was like, you know what?
Would you rather me ask you about the OC? Like,
oh no, I went off on him. I was like, you know what? No one who knows who you are. I doubt you get recognized at all for anything you've ever done outside of the OC. Nobody like, I just like, you know what? You should be thankful that anybody says they like anything that you do. Like, go screw yourself. And like, as I opened the doors to go back into the venue, Rachel Bilson is standing right there. And I'm like, but I like you in the OC. And just
and Rachel Bilson's like, I love Grind, by the way. I like Adam Brody in Jennifer's Body. He's so scary in it.
He's amazing in Promising Young Woman.
Yes,
Oh my
I was
God.
like, I just saw him in something where he's like a bad guy. And yeah, he is. He's great in it.
Yeah. Ugh.
Okay, we are at obviously the pinnacle of the entire movie.
It's such a great start to a movie. Like, how do you get a start like this and then just keep getting better?
It's so fun. I just wanted to live on a mountain with a bunch of my friends in a snow town, but don't like the snow that much. So,
I mean, I don't mind it because it's not like you're ever really out in the snow that much unless you work on the mountain. Like these guys.
I just like, I hate when it like gets in your boot.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say boobs. And I'm like, girl, I know. Like, you got to do high collar. Like
That too. And we all had that moment as like young girls where somebody messes with you and they grab your shirt and put snow down your shirt.
It is not that fun.
Mean.
Yeah,
this sequence is absolutely bananas because the whole point is for them to get to the statue of Papa Munts with the most beer in their glass. And they're like, you know what we should all do though? Sick tricks the whole time.
Honestly, one of the lines that I quote from this is "Everybody ready," and like, but with that tone of voice, and no, like I'm like, it's such a generic line, but like in my head, I'm like, of course it's from Out Cold.
It's a very clear reference. There's so many like really obvious body doubles in this scene too. It's so funny.
Also, just the soundtrack for this movie.
So good.
Like I actually spoke with Derek Webley a few times. Yeah, I've spoken with Derek Webley and like the Sum 41 guys a few times.
Oh my gosh.
Because of Warped Tour. And I literally was like, did you get to go to the opening for Out Cold? Because your music's in it. And he was like, no, we were on tour. We were so bummed. I'm like, that's so upsetting.
I have to go look at pictures from the premiere of this movie. I'm sure it is the funniest outfits of all time.
Oh my God. I mean, it was 2001, so like I'm guessing like baggy pants.
This was the time when you would go to a red carpet premiere and it was acceptable to wear whatever you wanted. Like there was a time in the 2000s where dressing up for a red carpet was not a thing. You just wore your outfit.
Well, now especially with like this movie, you would have just been looked at as being super bougie and just everyone would have ripped on you.
I gotta look at premiere pictures now.
I miss Sum 41. I can't wait till after this and like hopefully Kevin Lyman, who created Warped Tour, somebody tweeted at him and was like, I hope that you're putting together a reunion Warped Tour. He goes, who said it had to be called Warped Tour? And I'm like, I'm 37 years old this summer and I'm in to work that tour if I have to. Like, yes. Oh my God. It's just going to be all like old people and just so much fun. I wonder how many babysitters they're going to have to hire for it. That'd be amazing. Yeah, because every girl just goes snowboarding with clothes that break away. I mean, mine kind of do right now, but I'm also not snowboarding, so fuck it.
Did this movie have a premiere? Because I cannot find a single photo from it.
I don't know.
Was this movie a big deal? Like, I don't know.
I remember when this movie came out.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah, for us, this is the pinnacle of cinema. But I remember when this came out, I was 16 years old. I was working at AMC Saratoga up here in Northern California, and it instantly went into one of the small theaters. Yeah. And like, I was so bummed because I would spend every spare minute of my shifts while this was in that theater, watching it in the hallway.
That's so fun. Yeah, I don't think this had a premiere whatsoever. That's funny.
That's upsetting.
That's funny. I was way too old when I realized that the person in Out Cold was not the person in Mallrats. Like the London brothers being twins really blew my mind.
But what a great family. Like, wow. They're, in both of these movies that I love beyond all belief.
One of them had like a really sad spiral for a while. He was on like celeb rehab, and then he said he was like kidnapped and forced to do drugs in a van, but I don't know which one it was. It's taking a dark turn. Sorry.
I think it was Jeremy. I can't keep them straight though. Damn it, Jason doesn't have a...
Oh, I
Twitter.
can see the comments. I didn't realize I could see them. So excited. Ash Crossan is a delight. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, as soon as I told people, they were like, "You and Ash are watching Out Cold." I'm like, "You bet your fucking ass we are."
This is the
I'm like,
pinnacle of content.
I'm like, I legit can't watch this with anybody else. Like,
No.
no, like my older sister would be right here if she wasn't living in Florida because we both love this movie. Like, we've watched it ad nauseum. To the point where my mother hated I was telling Ash this. My mother hated this movie when it first came out, and like we got it on DVD and like would watch it incessantly. And she hated it. But then over time, she would like see that it was on and be like, "Call me during the car scene."
Yep.
Which you'll see very soon. And it's like she loves it so much now. She's like, "It's just so funny." I'm like, "You're the best."
I remember like a bunch of years ago, my friends and I were like drinking at our apartment, and one of them put it on and he was like, "Do you guys remember this movie?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, like I've seen it." And then it just became a tradition where we would go out and drink and we'd come back from the bar, and our like nightly tradition was just to like watch Out Cold before. And like that was kind of like our wrap up of the night, was watching Out Cold and like drinking and like falling asleep at some point.
I watched this movie while in Alaska. And
That's
it was like
cool.
The pinnacle of my being. It was January, so it was like night for like 20 hours a day. But we did have a whole day where we went off and like went and rode training runs with Iditarod racing team dogs, and then we went to like the Alaska like animal conservatory and like, you know, hung out with them, and I got to pet a moose. And then I came back and had the night off, and I was like, I'm just going to watch Out Cold over and over and over again. And it was like the most amazing night.
Yes, I'm going. I want to go to like a ski mountain town at some point soon when I can. And I'm going to be watching Out Cold on a loop.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not. When I interviewed Zach Galifianakis, I was like telling him I love this movie, and he didn't believe me. He was like, do you really like Out Cold? And he decided to quiz me to make sure that I liked Out Cold, which I was like, why would I bring this up if I didn't like it? He was like, so there's the first prank they do, I wake up and there's an animal. And I'm like, oh, the polar bear that's like licking your crotch.
The polar bear is licking was it salt?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a bag of salt, pail, and a paintbrush. Lance, get his pants. Good girl. I mean, good boy. I mean, girl. Good girl.
Snowbiz. Liar, liar with Ash Crossan. It would be like watching Jim Carrey's twin. I would probably be annoying because I would just quote the whole thing the whole time.
You mean like what we're doing right now?
Yes.
There's just, how is every person in this movie amazing?
I know, this is like, if you like name this cast, you're like, oh my God, like Thomas Lennon, and yeah.
I mean, this was where I first developed my crush on David Denman.
Oh yeah,
so dearly. Well, I like men who are like, you know, have some heft to them. And
I interviewed him for what was the movie he did? It was like a James Gunn produced movie that he did. It was like kind of like the Superman one, but it was like a horror movie.
It was Brightburn.
Yes, Brightburn. And I also brought up Out Cold and caught him off guard, and he was like, "Oh, you like Out Cold?" I was like, "Yeah, I like Out Cold."
It's like, no, that's too weak of a word.
I need all the stories from this set though.
I know this is one of those that I'm like, can I if they go like, I kind of want a sequel 20 years later. I think that would be hilarious. But I want to be on set for it.
Yes.
That's just not it. I've literally used that quote in a business meeting. I have to pause to turn if I want to sell investors on it. My boss was not as amused as my coworkers.
What is that from?
Oops. Honestly, I knew that there was like nods to Casablanca during this movie, but when someone was like, it's basically a Casablanca remake with boobs, beer, and snowboards, and I was like, huh. And then I watched it, my brain just exploded because it's
yeah, there's so many like There's so many lines that are just like straight from Casablanca.
Like literally right at the end, he's like, "I know one thing. You're getting on that plane with him," and I was like, "That's not even like paying homage. That is a quote."
Yeah. This movie's funny because it was like they wanted to be really raunchy, but then they wanted to keep their PG rating, I think, at the same time.
Yeah.
So this whole thing with like Pigpen and the girls that like take their tops off, they never actually like take their tops off. They all like have.
I love how one girl at one point like ends up laying next to him and her hand is just covering her nipple. And I'm like, oh, that's such perfect placement. But like, it makes me angry that it took me so long to realize that like when they cut, like after he's dreaming, he's like, yeah, he's got a big crush on that bench. And it shows him and he's like literally like on his toes, like, and you can see his butt just doing this. It took me so long to realize that was why they cut back to him. Dying laughing. Although I do now want to just like track down anywhere that is Bull Mountain. Like I just need to go there.
It is funny that it's like Pigpen and Zach Galifianakis. I forget this actor's name that played Pigpen, but they're brothers. But it's like you would think Zach Galifianakis would play this role because that's like what he's come to be known for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Derek Hamilton.
I think he's so cute.
He's hotter older, for sure. Definitely better looking now, I think. Because here he looks like a 20-something-year-old that has nothing together.
Oh yeah. Oh, he is cute.
I just love the gold lame and like there has to be a deleted scene that explains their outfits. Like, was he watching like Xena right before he went into work that day? Like,
I have to assume that this movie is like so much was on the cutting room floor because so much of it doesn't make any sense. It's just like random mishmashes of ideas.
Wicked. Lower. It's just such perfect like placement. Like it's I get very strong Austin Power vibes during this scene.
Yeah.
Where like the girls are obviously naked, but everything's like hiding things. Like that girl right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just jiggle it.
Just jiggle it.
There are so many times I quote this movie to myself and then just giggle because I know how funny I am, but nobody else realizes it. And I'm like, you guys are stupid. I'm hilarious.
Oh, those like glasses that Rick is wearing are so ugly.
The old Ray-Bans. Oh, God.
Jack Johnson. Isn't this Jack Johnson?
Yeah, it's Jack Johnson for sure. I love that they have a Charger just with like a snowplow on the front.
I know.
Like, it doesn't even like lower or raise. It's just there.
It's funny. What is Ash drinking? She is drinking a grapefruit Bon Vive. It's a seltzer.
Yeah. She's classier than I am. I'm going for straight blended Scotch whiskey. Costco brand. Really good.
I think this is my last seltzer in the house. I'm going to have to switch to something else. We'll see.
Well, if you start with the seltzer and then go red wine, that's totally acceptable for this movie.
Yeah. Feels like a strange pairing, red wine and alcohol, but might have to do it.
Yeah, but if you start with the seltzer, it feels more appropriate.
Yeah, true.
Oh my God, we have a Streamlab that came in. Guys, if you have any questions or anything, throw them into Streamlabs. Steve, Movie Fanobi says, "You're drafted, Rachel. Woohoo! I just wanted to say hello. Ash is so fun with Star Wars passion and on Twitter. Her liar overdubs are gold. Have fun. I never got into ski movies much. I remember Ski School. Better Off Dead is classic. 100%. And I love you so much for that.
That's so sweet.
Steve's the best. He just constantly like he'll come in for my shows and just be like, "Here's $5. I'm going to bed." I'm like, "I love you." Okay.
Popping into support. Love it. I love in this flashback scene too when Anna gets out from behind like the cardboard cutout, she's wearing the exact same bikini as the cardboard thing.
It's just so clever. Oh,
so
God,
no
Jack
one
Johnson.
no one that was making this
lies.
No one that was making this movie was like, the soul patch, we should maybe like shave it.
Well, to be fair, the soul patch was big in the late 90s, which is when he would have been in Mexico with Anna, and then he lives in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. So I feel like it's one of those like Euro trip scenarios where they're like, we just got, you know, Cagney and Lacey or whatever, you know, like they're like 10 years behind everybody else.
Seize the carp.
Seize the carp. I'm not joking. So for my team last year, we wanted to be, we were saying slap the carp was like the funniest thing. We were going to be seize the carp, and Christian misheard us and was like, slap the carp. And we're like, no. So then he like wouldn't let it go. And we were like, well, you know what? If you're going to just say slap the carp, we'll just make a logo for that. And
let's just roll with it.
Getting that. Oops. I sing that
the kid from like Bad Santa is just randomly in the scene.
Right. I forgot that was the kid from Bad Santa. I was like, he looks familiar.
Pretty sure. I mean, it has to be. There's no way there's two kids that look like that.
Well, there's Jason and Jeremy. You never know.
That's true.
Yes. Is it sad that Jenny's non-existent dating life is way more exciting than my non-existent dating life? I'm like, a 10-year-old wants to watch a movie with me? That sounds awesome. TMNT? Cool. Oh, I love you, Fanobi. That's very, very sweet. And how could anyone not enjoy Ash? 100%.
That's so nice.
It's so funny. I'm such a massive.
I wasn't trying to diss that kid. I just meant he's a very unique looking person.
They also like came out at right about the same time. Yeah, he's a cute kid.
He's a cute kid, but it's just like that. Yeah.
You're like, that's the same child.
That's the same child.
Of course, Foo Fighters. Been in one of those lesbian chat rooms. I would watch a buddy movie of just these two.
Yeah, there's so much like like deleted scenes of him just like going on and on and on and on. Like I don't even think he had a script.
I'm not joking. I saw him at a Target when I lived in LA, and I was like,
he's one of those people you see everywhere. I've seen him at so many places.
But like it was really awkward because like it was Target, we were in like the healthcare section or whatever, and I was like, I think I was buying like tampons or something, and he like followed me down into the aisle, and we both just kind of looked at each other, and I was like, I just wanted to spew all of his Stumpy lines at him because you can't not look at him or any of his champ lines from Anchorman. And I it just all got stopped in my mouth because they were all trying to come out at once. And then like he had to ask me for help because his daughter was apparently needing tampons, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh my God. I just helped him out, and I was like, by the way, I really love your acting career. He's like, thanks. And I'm like, especially out cold. And he was like, thank you. And then walked away.
That, no.
Yeah, just
no.
I just love Lee Majors.
He'd be canceled.
Oh, 100%.
I guess he kind of gets canceled in this movie too.
But this role makes me laugh so hard. Actually, my dad's name is Mr. Markowitz. Why all the gold lame? That's what I want to know. Why is everything gold and shiny?
It must have been like a discount fabric or something.
It's like they were in the middle of nowhere, and their wardrobe person like just went out, and like that's all they could find in as much material as they needed.
Ash, did your skateboarding fumbles make you wish you were on a ski mountain? Yeah, probably. I still am like, well, I don't know if you guys like, see it that bad, but I still have like scars on my hands and stuff. So I was at the Grand Canyon and I decided to go down this hill that just like kept increasing and kept increasing. And I was like, okay, this has got to level out at some point. And it didn't. And then I saw a dead end and I was like, I have two options here. I can keep going and like hope I don't die, or I could try to bail. So I tried to bail and I tumbled about like 16 times and yeah, really hurt.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. We could do the female version of a ski patrol.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. Do you count Hot Tub Time Machine as a ski movie? Because it does have the ski patrol that harasses them.
Sure.
And I feel like a ski resort.
Because I feel like this one is like, it's about the mountain.
Right.
It's like Hot Tub Time Machine is about the hot tub. So I don't know.
Well, I think Hot Tub Time Machine happens because of the hot tub, but I think the story revolves around like the place and the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like, who knows?
You could argue that.
Yeah. I do love the similarities.
This is the new Die Hard as a Christmas movie combo.
Let's start that hashtag, guys. Hot Tub Time Machine hashtag ski movie.
Oh, this puka shell necklace.
Oh God. Stumpy had to go.
I would always like the puka shells would always like get caught in your like little baby hairs on your neck.
Oh, I swear I found one like buried in a box somewhere, and like right around the clasp, it still had like a whole bunch of hairs.
The whole hair
wrapped around it. I love that he's trying to play straight and has a sleeveless heart t-shirt on.
Inga.
I literally have walked into a bar and ordered a horny maker so many times just to see how like what they would make me. I love that Flex just cheers as her. He just salutes. Oh, this movie's so fucking perfect.
I think that she's like an adult film star, or was in like real life.
She was a Playboy bunny. She was Playmate of the Year, I believe. And all the guys were real excited to see her, obviously, like in real life. But I think she did end up doing porn. But also, I love how the song that she puts on just like starts in the middle.
I love her. I think she loves this movie because I've like tweeted about it obviously a lot, and I'm pretty sure she's liked some of my tweets about it.
Well, let's see if we can get her on. Victoria, come on down. Be strong. Again, just such great sound, like music that they got for this.
Soundtrack is out of this world. I don't know how to pronounce this. Silvstedt.
There she is. I think. She doesn't have a horny maker. And that's how you know the bartender's straight, because he didn't even blink, he just started making it.
Yeah, he's like fuzzy navel, I gotcha.
Yeah.
She has not tweeted since January 17th.
Oh. Alright. Well, fuck it.
She's very pretty.
She's stunningly beautiful. I love, God bless her, but her accent is just awful. It fades in and out. It's supposed to be French, but who knows what she was actually going for.
Oh man, I gotta say, like, I'm not talking about the actors, I'm talking about this character. I hate this character so much.
Oh, honestly.
They don't give like any reason why I should invest in her. I hate her bucket hat. I can't.
She's one of those girls that I would see in a bar, like in any bar that I went into while I was on tour, and I would see her and be like, ugh, God, she's going to talk to me and I'm going to have to act into her.
Go get that wine. Good night.
I mean, the people who watch.
And I cannot lie.
Butts and I cannot lie.
You
We
get-
used, we used to stretch to this song when I was a cheerleader in high school.
I was also a cheerleader.
We would listen.
This song was incorporated a lot.
Well, we weren't allowed to dance to it, but we would stretch to it every day. And so it was I was a senior at the time, so I was a captain, and I was like, you guys get to do whatever I tell you. And so we would listen to that during stretches, and I was like, by the end of this, if my only legacy is that you know all of the lyrics to this song, I will consider myself incredibly successful. Yeah.
Yeah, her accent's all over the map.
It's so bad.
Of all the bars and all the ski towns.
In all of Alaska. Oh, Jenny.
Makes me so mad. I don't know why you would mess things up with Jenny. And then, you know.
I also don't know why no one else was hitting on Jenny. Like, why was that not a thing?
I don't know why Jenny likes Rick. He's kind of a dick to her the whole time.
Well, I mean, they grew up as, like, buddies and friends. And, like, you know, with your guy friends, you can be assholes to each other, and that's how you show love. And I get that. But, like, dude, she's stunning.
Yeah.
And awesome. And there aren't any other options in this town.
Yeah, I think there's like maybe like 6 women that live in this entire town.
Yeah.
There's one of them. This is the best prank. Here it is.
It's just the best. It's just the best. I feel like I should call my mom, but it'll take her forever to get up the stairs. But she loves this.
We had a friend that would always get like blackout like every night we hung out, and we really wanted to do this to him, but didn't feel quite safe.
It's also real hard to do unless you can have that like turntable lift underneath a car.
Yeah.
Like they did. No, we've pulled a few pranks like this on tour. One guy passed out for it was the third time he passed out with his shoes on in the back lounge. And so we took a Sharpie and Sharpied his entire dick black. And so we all woke up at like 4:00 in the morning to him going pee and seeing that his dick was completely black and screamed out so loud. And we just like, none of us got out of bed to find out what was happening. None of us got out of our bunks. We just started laughing.
That has to be a terrifying sight on yourself. Oh, El Matador. It's Spanish for the Matador.
It's just so good. I really do want a t-shirt that says like Bull Mountain with like one of those old school like travel tourist resort things. Like I want one that says Bull Mountain.
I'd be surprised. Like I feel like Redbubble or something would make that, but
yeah.
Again, there's like 12 of us that like this movie, so.
Well, 12 of us will buy it in every color in our size. So
Bull Mountain.
That's the saddest thing that they're like, oh, drink. When you check out the delivery.
Oh, that's I didn't realize they were putting the hot tub in. That's funny.
Oh, those I would love to live in the snow like that because this body is made for cold. But I couldn't stand the alpine, like super strict A-line houses that would just like it just makes me feel so closed in.
Oh, I love them.
They're pretty, and I love staying in them
Right.
for a set amount of time. But if it's more than like a week and a half, I'm like, I need to go to a real building, please.
Yeah, out cold merch does not seem to exist.
That's stupid.
We could make them.
We should. I mean, before all of this happened, wasn't Alamo looking for like themed nights?
Yeah.
And we were all pushing. We're like, Ash needs to host this, and we will all
yes,
be
I
here.
was trying. I wanted to host an out cold night.
It needs to happen. We'll all come in like, our snow gear. One guy will be dressed as Stumpy, but not on purpose.
Yeah, this is the point when I didn't want to live here because she obviously has to go somewhere to do her laundry, and that's like an instant no for me.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, even living in LA, I'm like, I will do it if I have to in a shared facility. However, if I move anywhere else in the country, I have to have an in-suite, stackable if I have to, washer dryer. Like, oh God.
I moved in June and we have one in our apartment and it's the best.
It's a game changer.
Game changer because you can like leave it in there.
Yep.
Don't have to think about it.
You don't have to set a fucking alarm or worry about somebody coming in and like moving your shit.
Yep. Or like
stealing your
going
underwear.
to the bank and getting quarters.
Yep. Although you do feel really powerful walking around with a purse full of like rolled quarters. That's really fun. You're like, I wish a motherfucker would. I will knock him out. Sally. Now that's a 10-point question for Schmodown, guys.
Ash, can you please write Out Cold as a musical to be performed on Broadway? Yes.
100%. Yeah, that needs to happen. I mean, I've got a friend who's an actual Broadway producer, so Tony nominated. Let's make it happen. It'd be fun to get all the rights for the songs too.
Yeah, if we could get Anytime. Like I feel like Anytime has to be on there.
Yeah. Although it'd be really fun to figure out how to do the King of the Mountain sequence.
Yes.
In a theater. Like I feel like it should involve
King of the Mountain.
It would be an amazing. I feel like that would be like the tap dance number.
I think King of the Mountain has to be like the through line song. It's the one that keeps coming back. It has like quite a few reprises.
Like when Jenny's sitting at the bar, she sings a sad version of
King of the Mountain let her down. How the King of the Mountain, not her.
Is actually a Joker.
Yes.
Yes. Got this. Let's do this. You know what? Let's finish the movie. Let's finish the bottle, and let's just get fucking weird.
Yeah, we got to start writing. We have to have a brainstorm sesh.
That shot just makes me so happy for some reason. Just sitting in front of his computer, pantsless.
But
now I'm shocked that this place has a bowl and not a jacuzzi.
I love this bar.
Yeah. I wish it was real.
Yeah, I always dreamed of having like a hometown bar like this.
I mean, I kind of do. It's not this size and there's no bowl, but there's literally, so I'm back living with my mom in San Jose, which is the town that I grew up in, and literally less than 2 blocks away, across a major street, is a bar called the Ready Room, REDI, because classy. And it's so small, and it's just, it was where all of like the people who never left town go to drink.
Right.
And I'm like, this is perfect. I can go home and visit my mom, and then she goes to bed, and I'll go to the bar and then just stumble home. This is perfect.
Yeah, I had a couple places in Delaware where I was like a regular, but here it's like, I was building a good relationship with the Library Ale House on Main Street in Santa Monica, and then the Panini hit, and now I'm a regular at my own apartment.
I just love that the men's room also just leads outside. So it's just outside, in the snow.
Smart.
Hello, ping pong. I love the chops. Like, they're just baby chops on Pigpen.
How does that help me?
And he just, happens to have his snowboard with him.
Always gotta
At
have
the
your
bar.
snowboard.
This seems like something that Zach would have done, like at this stage of his life.
I wonder where they shot this. It's got to be like, it's like the Universal backlot or something. There's no way it's cold.
I don't know. Don't they have like? Well, they don't have
Although that looks like snow.
breath.
But
Yeah.
a lot of times in the movie, I'm like,
Oh, actual filming locations were Salmo, British Columbia, and Vancouver.
oh, they
Stock
actually
footage
did it.
of Denali National Park, Alaska. The more you know.
How Cold has an 8% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
How dare they?
I know, but the audience score is like 89%.
Well,
That's the
because
biggest.
we obviously have better taste than
Yeah,
them.
so like us two, we're like, we like it. And they're like, okay, audience likes it. These outfits are so funny. Just
They're
like the long sleeve under the open button up. Yeah, 8% critic consensus, 84% audience score, based on 47,000 ratings.
Well, that just goes to prove that there needs to be Out Cold merch. I'm just going to say it. Any movie that has an approval rating of over 60% deserves merchandise.
I agree. No swimsuit, no tan lines.
I just love Zach Galifianakis in this. No brains, no headaches.
I love the stories, like all the scars. Each one has interesting story. No,
No,
not really. I skateboarded off a fire.
I skateboarded off a truck into a fire hydrant. It's funny because I literally have those stories for my scars. Like, I have so many scars from tour. Like my hand got caught in a door. Like, I literally came home from my first tour with like my forearms just cut to shit, and it looked like I was like self-harming. And so my parents called me in and like had an intervention, and I was like, no. I just got back from tour and we're carrying cardboard boxes the wrong way. I was like, that's really sweet, but no, like, I'm depressed because I'm not back on the road. No. This is
it's like in
job issues.
in Coyote Ugly when she gets hired and Maria Bella's like, oh, where are these gnarly scars from? And she's like, pizza oven. Like, that must be the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Like, wow, you got those over and over? Don't you, like, do you not learn?
I know.
Like, that's a fixed point. Like, I feel fine about my scars that, like, happened on my forearms. Because I was like, look, sometimes boxes fall and they slice you up. Like, and shit like that, scars. It's fine. I hate Anna for this, guys. Anna's awful. And then the porn music. How dark she is next to him. He's so white. Schlappenslate.
Cuddle.
We'll cuddle. I've actually said that to a guy before.
Cuddle.
We'll cuddle. Where are you going? We'll cuddle. The framing for this shot was perfect. Just like right between her legs. We'll cuddle.
Cuddle.
And now, like any man in his 20s, sees a warning sign and goes,
I will be ignoring this.
maybe that leads to a really good time if I disobey this. And this is why cell phones within arm's reach are so important in today's society. Why is he still talking to her?
I don't get it. Like, you gotta move on, man.
Like, I don't think I've ever been that emotionally stupid, and I have done some emotionally stupid things in my life, but I've never messed around with a guy on vacation and then run into him again and him been like, oh yeah, sorry we didn't stay together. I was engaged at the time and I'm still engaged. Cool, you want to come over to play? Like, you want to come over and like have coffee and we can be friends? No.
Playing with fire.
Yeah, but she's so like she doesn't even seem worth it. Like, she's cute, but like, no. Although I have always wanted a porch with a snowman on it because of this scene.
Oh wow, this song.
Yep.
Angels. The song is in what's that movie? A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff at the end when she's like kissing the guy and like finally gets her or whatever.
She's kissing Chad.
Bothered the hell out of me because I was like, isn't this song about like heaven, dying? I hate like super misplaced songs in movies.
Although I do love how good of a friend Jenny is to all of the guys.
You need help too. I love when he takes the shot. It's so funny.
Out of the rubbing alcohol bottle.
He doesn't even use the alcohol.
just packs in snow.
And what did he do to his hand?
Wait, what?
What did he do to his hand?
Oh, he stabbed himself. Remember?
Oh.
In the bar?
Oh, right.
I think that Stumpy would be a great teacher at South Harmon Institute of Technology. I think he would be a great shithead.
What was that? It's our mascot. A sandwich. Here's a shit sandwich.
What happened to you?
I love that movie.
Oh yeah, that movie's so good. Except it is such a great movie.
It's so good. I want to look like you guys. I want visors kind of tilted to the side with hair gel coming out. I want to wear lilac shirts. Daniel, I don't know if you're still watching, but that's what your hair looks like currently.
That's amazing. I feel like I need proof. That's fantastic. One of the most quoted lines in this movie. That's my motto.
Why? She's lame.
She's not worth it.
Kind of second thoughts about kicking this guy's ass.
I love how like literally childish Pigpen is.
New guards are jerks.
To be fair, they are being safe about it. They're just
keeping it real.
Well, keeping it safe. But his name is Kyle.
Does it say? Oh no, he's just a Snow Nook guy. I like how Amazon, like when you pull it up, it like has the people that are in the scene. Yeah. It's great. Technically,
hey, I love how. Why is he throwing out the Matador? First of all, that's the first thing you save. Like that would go in my living room.
Where are you going with the bull?
Well, the Jets can feel.
Very. I don't need a test to tell you I take drugs. There's some people in this movie that show up like to the point where I'm like, were they supposed to have like a big speaking role?
Right?
Because when they're doing like the King of the Mountain scene, there's one guy that shows up and they're all like, oh yeah. And I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
Never referenced again. God, I miss my phase of wearing all those brands. Like Independent, my Etnies.
Dude, Etnies were the best shoes. They were so comfortable. The heels were super thick.
Yep. I had like the gray and pink Etnies.
I had the black and green and white ones.
I worked at PacSun for a long time. And so I was always buying all those shoes.
It was literally the only reason I would go into PacSun was to get new Etnies.
Or people would come in. I had like regulars that would come and be like, need a new pair of rainbows. I'm like, okay, here you go. $45.
Oh. That line always made me so sad. Hey, village person, get me more limes. I'm like, oh, don't you be mean to Lance.
Yeah, and he's wearing like the same suit from Casablanca.
Yep, just perfect. And she comes down from the office that's upstairs.
Yeah.
She did nothing with her hair.
No.
Like, not a fucking thing. God, I miss the early 2000s.
What are you grabbing her ass? Like what?
Yeah. He had wandering hands for sure. I do miss living in a town that threw parties like the one that's coming up.
Oh my God, yes.
Like
that has like big Delaware energy too. It's like small town energy.
Oh, I've been to a house party in Delaware.
Yes.
Those fuckers know how to party.
Yes, it's true. What you guys get in?
I do love that he's dressed up. Like he's wearing his brown cords and his like fisherman like cream sweater. I love that his cowboy hat has like sparkles around it because it's fancy. Aww.
Was Lee Majors like, I'll be in this movie, but like, I'm not changing my name. I'm gonna be Mr. Majors. I will be in this movie as Mr. Majors.
DK, we think that he wasn't given a script and was just told to like fucking go for it.
Yeah, there's like a deleted or like a
there's a few extra scenes.
Yeah, there's like some extras. I think they're in the credits where he's just like going on and on and on and on and on. So I'm pretty sure that isn't that Stryker from K-Rock?
I think so, yeah. I mean, he looks so much different, like so different now.
He was like tweeting at me the other day and he was like, yeah, I was in that movie. He's like, I look a lot different now.
Get Stryker on. What is his Twitter? Is it Ted Stryker?
Ted Stryker, yeah. Yeah, because he was like, I'm the one that drinks the bong water.
Weird flex. Although, to be fair, if I was in this movie, I would tell everyone, like, this movie's amazing. I'm literally just posting the StreamYard link in this tweet with AJ Cook and Zach and Ted tagged in it. Fuck it. I don't care.
I just DM'd him. I don't know. Somebody, you don't know how often people go on Twitter. You might not see it till tomorrow.
But it's only 7 o'clock West Coast time, so like
This is prime. All I'm doing is I'm either on Twitter or TikTok.
Yeah, right. And you're all fired. Every one
This
of you.
party, and there's like randomly like 100-year-old guy, like just like.
This movie's so great. Like this party, I'm first of all, I just miss people.
Yeah.
So much. Although I have talked to Riley and I was like, so regardless of when the world opens back up, you're throwing your ugly Christmas sweater party, right?
Yes.
Yes, 100%. I feel like it's going to be a combination of ugly Christmas sweater and engagement party.
There needs to be like a holidays we missed party where everyone just dresses up and.
Yep.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird, like being in that close vicinity with other people. I feel like I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get drained so quickly.
Yeah.
I can go to a party for like an hour. I think the first weekend we can.
We gotta work our way up.
I saw a TikTok of somebody who was like pretending to be at a party. And they're like, "Yeah, I'll be right back," and they go in their bathroom and they just like stand there. And they're like,
I do appreciate that they have Sir Mix-a-Lot in this movie numerous times.
I love Inga's dress.
Oh.
Inga.
I love that she's dancing with a guy wearing cataract glasses. Like,
I'm gonna get a refill. Be right back.
I support you in this. This is the time to go get a refill, by the way. This is when Barry is being stupid and has his head shoved up his ass. Although it does have one of the best lines from, oh, don't kiss her. It's not worth it. Probably has herpes. Oh, hey. I'm very, very glad to be back in the den. Ash is effing awesome. Of course she is. Oh, thank you. We have another Ash. Oh. We have another Ash is effing awesome post, FYI.
Oh my gosh.
And Jake Yacovetta. If you don't know who Jake Yacovetta is, he is the most supportive human being on the face of the planet.
Love it.
Yes. And yes, always go get the wine.
Always go get the wine. Baby got back. I love how some of the songs they use like 2 or 3 times.
I know.
Like, we got it. We got the rights. So
Although I do love after this, it's I'm all out of love. And it's just the brothers
this,
like
this part. I think this counts as the brothers messing with each other.
Yeah, 100. Well,
especially when he picks them up.
He gets duct taped to the bowl. So
yeah, that's right.
100%. He's just carrying him around by the back of his pants and the collar of his shirt.
So I've moved to a keep it chilled red wine.
Ooh.
I'm really in a big chilled red wine phase, but if you're looking for a wine wreck, really like this one.
You're looking to class it up a little.
I don't know what the Venn diagram is of people who want to watch out cold and people who are looking for wine wrecks, but
I'm pretty sure the sliver is pretty narrow, but it definitely exists. It always made me nervous, the one that went straight across his throat. Although this I was always like, get over this.
I know.
Like, you farted too. Oh, no, you did. I always get really confused. Like, even as a child, I was super confused by like post-sex scenes where people were wearing like their undergarments. I was like, who has sex and then immediately is like, I need to put my bra back on?
Oh, this is fun.
Just got a Hummer.
Ted Stryker said, "Me gusta." Ted, if you're watching, come
join.
I need your stories about your bong water scene.
Send him the link. Tell him he's welcome. I also just miss his voice because I don't live in LA anymore.
I know it's weird because I feel like I haven't really been listening to the radio because I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So whenever I do, I'm like always listening to gay rock.
See, I'm literally watching this for the first time with the subtitles on. I always thought that he asked the girls, "Do you like horses?" And he asked them, "Do you like Porsches?" And that makes me real sad because it doesn't make as much sense.
Oh, that's strange.
I think the subtitle is wrong. I'm gonna go with my version because I think it's better.
Yeah. So this guy is like a actual like Olympic snowboarder.
Yeah. Like he's an actual like very well known man in the community.
Which is wild because he's probably the only one in this entire movie that's actually capable of like operating a snowboard and does not.
I feel like him and every other person that partook in King of the Mountain. Like, I think that they were just like in Vancouver and they're like, hey, we're going to go film this like racing scene going down a hill. Like, do you guys want to come and like participate? Oh, I'm just really lazy. I'm that dude. Oh, Barry. I mean, good on her for trying to like for sticking with him after the injury too. But she's kind of awful still.
I mean, he's a pilot,
a doctor, snowboarder, ex-snowboarder. But still, like a super nice dude. Like, upon hearing a funny story about one of her friends getting his dick stuck in a jacuzzi, he brings up pills to help him.
He's rolling around town in a Razor scooter.
In the snow. Like...
Is that from when he skateboarded off a truck into a fire hydrant?
I just love like that look on his face as they pull back from the poster and he's just sitting there like grinning like an evil Dennis the Menace. Pierre?
Your name's Pierre?
Mm. We're your friends.
So we're your friends.
I mean, to be fair, that's 100% true.
Gold and blue.
Always.
Color scheme.
Always gold and blue. It just, there's so much with it.
The card says exactly what you just said. I feel like I watch this movie so often, but I often don't get to the very end. So
that's so sad. Because the end's the best.
Yeah. Well, I'm usually like drinking with friends. So we usually like start it at the end, like end of the night.
Yeah. And then you get in a conversation.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like the credits are rolling and I use this phrase so much. And you can't explain it to somebody who asks why you say it, because you're like, oh, it's in this movie. This guy burns his underwear and he says needed burning. And he's like, then why would you use it in this? I'm like, it's just fucking funny. Oh, oil rigs.
Big Ben, you're on fire.
Yeah. So calm, because that's probably the 20th time he said it to him in his lifetime.
You're on fire again.
I'm down. Oh, I love that they have Lance do this scene. It's just so great. It's so sweet and incredibly ahead of its time, by the way. Having all of his friends be super supportive and just like, of course, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
this is,
I always question how this scene ages, but I think it's fine.
I think it's great. Okay. So when I was on Beauty and the Beast, my boss, my manager who was on tour with us, was probably the gayest man I've ever met in my life. I mean, like, farts, rainbows, and burps glitter. Like, I love him so much. So he would scream at me every now and then, and we would call it, like, we would use the term gay, like Geigh, gay, when things were like real, like when he was doing something like incredibly just like, wow, that's so stereotypical. And so now we scream at each other in German, over the phone or through Instagram or something like that. And it's always like, gee. That hat just looks awful.
He's so problematic.
It's just not good. Maybe marry my daughter. Yeah, he I feel like this character really, really suited Lee.
What are they doing with the statue of Papa Muntz? That's the last straw.
Hey, John.
I mean, who takes Papa Muntz?
I quit.
I want to know what happened to that statue, though.
It's a $300 hat, bitch.
Yeah, don't fly to Alaska and watch Alive or 30 Days of Night. It's just not a good choice. I love how they give him like such faith now.
You do
No.
not have plenty of room. That is a
That is a
pretty sure that's a 4-passenger plane. Or
at
3-passenger. Yeah.
At most. I mean, Pigpen could like curl up on their laps like a puppy. But we stole it from fair and square. I really want to know what happened to the statue of Papa Muntz, because if it's just in a warehouse somewhere, I kind of want to see if I can buy it.
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, I want to turn it into a fountain. Last words were from a Billy Joel song. I mean, to be fair, Drake, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. I remember watching this in the theater for the very first time, and I was the only one to laugh at all of the jokes. Like when he was like, his last words were from a Billy Joel song, I started cracking up, and
so funny.
nobody else was. And I was like, you guys all suck. It's also why some of my friends stopped going to movies with me, because apparently they didn't get all the jokes. Whatever. Hello, Inga.
There's something that I have to say to you. Inga, I loved you from the first time that I saw you. And I loved you more than any man's ever loved a woman.
That he's never
actually spoken.
I just think that Pigpen is such a big heart that, like,
Yeah, he's sweet.
He's sweet. He's just dumb. Like, I feel like
those gloves are gigantic, by the way.
Those gloves are amazing. Let's do this.
Nothing would piss off my stepfather more.
I don't know. I feel like Pigpen got fucked with a lot as a kid by his brother, to the point where, like, he just caused, like, he had so many head injuries that, like, that's why he is the way he is as an adult. And that's why he fucks with his brother so much when he passes out, because he's, like, subconsciously getting revenge.
That's quite deep.
Well, it is a movie based on Casablanca. we gotta be a little thought provoking. I love how, like, all of the locals are back, like, on the eating area outside of the lodge.
Just your mother.
Although I remember seeing this and being like, that's a really cute bra.
Oh, yes, it is.
I'm like, how did she get that? That's really cute. It's like got support. It forms really nicely. It's pretty. Don't have any kids.
Because we're doing this Papa Mutt style, baby.
I've always wanted to do this. I'm not lying. Like, San Jose is like 4 hours from Tahoe, and there are days when it is 70 degrees outside and the snow is on the ground, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Like, people used to go, like, they used to do, they called it like summer snowboarding, and like people would go up with like just board shorts on or like bikinis and bathing suits and go snowboarding in that. And I'm like, first of all, I can't do that because I'm going to eat shit and end up with snow.
Yeah.
Hit my ass.
Yeah.
But good on you for doing that. But I would love to do a Papa Months run at some point. I mean, it is the 20th anniversary this year.
Oh, it is this year.
It is this year. So maybe if there's snow on the ground, maybe we do a Papa Months run.
Got to do something for the 20th anniversary.
Guard duty.
Nice.
It's definitely Chad and Kyle. Like, those have to be their names.
That's their names.
Or Jared.
Hello.
I had such a crush on him during this movie. Oh my god.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, and by him, I mean all of the males in this movie.
Yeah, basically everyone.
Yeah.
And AJ Cook too.
Oh, yeah.
Literally all of them.
Yeah, just all of them. Well, I mean, AJ's has carried on. Like, AJ's is like the one that has lived on.
Right.
Like, I love Zach still, but I'm like, I just feel like I want to grab a beer with you. That sounds awesome. He just headbutts him and steals sushi and runs off. Oh, Stumpy. I love that the locals are like super willing to help. They're just like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Jason London was the one in this movie, right? Yeah. And Dazed and Confused.
Yeah. My younger sister, no joke, looks like the little boy from Dazed and Confused. Like the one with like the really long, straight hair.
Yeah.
In the middle. Like my little sister looked just like him, like in her early 20s. To the point where a very good friend of mine like used to tease her about it and she used to cry.
Oh.
No, fuck that. She's a terrible person. I love that she rallies the kids. So my daughter's a whore. This is a hell of a deal.
Killed that guy.
It's only a beer bottle. He'll be fine. Maybe a cut. Just some of the logistics behind this, I'm like, so in order for Zach to have snowboarded off of the roof, he would have had to climbed up with his snowboard, attached it while sitting up there.
Flex. And drink! Yeah, the plan is interesting. They're like, so we'll just like mess up the meeting, the investor meeting, and then by having sex in the bulldozer.
You know what makes me really angry though is that throughout all of this, not one moose makes an appearance. And in Alaska, there are for sure city moose. That
no mooses. Mooses? Mooses?
Mises?
Moose? Moose? Just moose?
I think it's just moose. Yeah. I think it's multiple and singular.
This movie's rubbing off on me. I'm a dumbass. What's the plural? Moose. Moose. It's just moose.
It's just moose. We'll always have Pedro hornies. That's another t-shirt I want. A Pedro hornies like logo t-shirt.
We'll always have Pedro hornies. Hip hip.
Anytime
the song comes on at the bar, it's like instant out cold.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will literally put on just like an entire soundtrack in it when I have control. You know what's great is now there's apps for that. For like for the God, what are they? Where you play music at bars.
Oh, I know what you're talking about because sometimes I will be at the bar and then I'll go home and then I'll continue to play music at that bar, but I'll like cue up the same song continuously over and over again.
Sweet Caroline over and over. And
yeah,
over.
just like a you know, like a jerk.
I only do that for places that I absolutely hate. Like if I get like some of my favorite people, like as I was touring and everything, like they were bartenders.
Daniel, come prove that your hair is long like Zach Galifianakis in that one scene.
Oh, please. Please.
You got to make an appearance on the stream. Come on. Come on.
It'll be...
Look how long it is.
Yes! Oh my God.
It's very long.
I love it.
And that was a cameo appearance by Daniel. You know what I think it is about this movie? I think the reason that we have the hots for every guy in this movie, they're all wearing thermals. And as soon as a guy puts on a thermal with a little like a little Henley thermal situation, that's game over. Guys, if you're watching this, it's all you have to do is put on a thermal. Honestly,
just Henley, your
just
best friend.
Put on a Henley. I swear.
I love that fight. I want to see the end of that fight, though.
Inga at the end of the day was like, "Wait, I think we just killed my sister."
I'm really curious as to what was on the back of that snowmobile. Like, was that just like a handle?
I love that this guy just shows up.
Just once. Like, I know he's like an actor and I know I've seen him in other things, but I can never put my finger on it.
Well, doesn't he hold on, I want to make sure this is right before I say it.
Where's your boot? I love how Anthony, by the time he reaches the bottom of the mountain, is an expert snowboarder. Although that really makes me sad when he like knocks the taps off the beer. I'm like, that's just a waste of beer, guys.
Such a waste.
You're all gonna end up sticky. It's gonna not be fun. I love men. Please don't do that either. It's just. I love how supportive they are. It's just so sweet. I miss, you know what I miss? I miss working somewhere where like everybody was a family like that. Who?
That is the right answer.
100%, because she was not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Jenny, I'd be like, yeah, exactly. I'd be like, you're really gonna have to work.
Yeah. I mean, I have no self-control, so he wouldn't have to work that hard, but still. I love the fact that like they filmed that part where it was like right next to the sign for the run, and yet you don't see a lift anywhere.
Is that the one he was talking about where he's like, oh, if we put a lift there, it'd be like the best.
Yeah, to Hangman's Peak. It'd be the best run in Northern California or in North America.
Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about with all the it just goes on and on and on and on and on.
And I flashed those 2 dimes.
Drink.
Yep. Wait. Yeah, I'm a genius.
Good for him, though. That was actually him.
Yeah. And he actually had the beer in his mouth.
That's crazy, too.
Yeah.
That grosses me out because I could not hold beer in my mouth for that long. Ooh.
Yeah, no. Oh, this whole sequence just hurts so badly. Oh.
Yeah, it's like if you weren't drunk enough by the time you got to the end of this movie, like, here you go.
Yep. It's like, and good night. Did it bleep out for you too?
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
Oh, he says that it's like it's really chafing my Olsen twins. Can I get a drink for Mary Kate and Ashley?
Oh. Were they like, absolutely not?
I think that they like
Olsen twins
reached
had
out and were like,
something to
please
say.
don't do that. Are we still making this fucking movie?
This movie must have been made in like 3 days.
Oh God. It just that catch
This is like a quite an iconic scene for being in the credits.
Oh God. It just, this whole part just hurts my whole body. Oh God.
Oh my God.
This is why you snowboard with a helmet. I don't care if you think it makes you look stupid, but it will make your fucking life. Paper. You gotta talk to Alec Greenspan. I swear to God.
Excellent movie.
That is out cold. It is so fucking fantastic. If you didn't like it, then I'm sorry, but we can't be friends. Because it's so good, and the soundtrack is amazing. The cast is obviously phenomenal. I legit cannot thank you enough for coming on and doing this with me. This was
this is such a fun alternate to the Sunday Scaries. This was great.
Oh,
this is awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love this movie. In the summer, I think in June, I will be doing Grind if you want to come on for that. The invitation.
You know what? I've never seen it.
Oh my!
But I'll come on.
Yes!
It's my first time watch.
It'd be so much fun. It's another one of those where I'm like, it's very similar in the feel. It's such a great movie. I love it so much. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. This is Ash Crossan. Everybody give her a hand. Yeah!
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell the kids where they can find you and what you're doing and what's up.
You know what? You can find me at Ash Crossan on Twitter. That's where I put all my stuff. Daniel's laughing. But I've done a lot of really cool interviews lately, especially if you've just been like all over TikTok. So we got like Lubalin and Derek Delgadio. If you haven't watched that on Hulu, please go watch it. And then I have an interview with him that's up. So yeah, watch all my stuff. Have fun.
Yeah, fucking A. And you can catch me here every Tuesday doing the rewind with Lindsay and Maxwell for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I know we kind of peaked last week and got the creator on. So we'll see who happens to be on this week. And then every Thursday I have Movies, Music, and Mayhem. And this week is with Ryan Matsunaga from Skybound. Super excited to have him on. And then we do a whole bunch of other stuff. So thank you for joining us for our very first watch along. That was super fun.
That was fun.
And we'll see you next time. I'm taking suggestions for February. I'm kind of thinking a horror movie for February in place of a love movie because I am single and bitter. So why not watch some pretty girls get killed? Because
I love it.
But yeah, come back and subscribe, like, share, all that fun shit. Tell the creators and everybody if you've really liked this movie, go give them love and tell them how much you love this movie because we love this and we let them know it all the time. So new voices is always fun. But in that vein, take care of each other, wear your fucking masks. Get the shots. Let's get all together. You know what? Let's get it to the point where we can all get together and do this in a theater in November for the 20th anniversary date because I am wanting to do that. Ash is gonna host. We're gonna bully our way into it. It's gonna fucking happen.
It's gonna happen.
But
whatever.
Thank you for coming and hanging out, guys. Take care of each other and yourselves, and we will see you later. Mwah! Bye, guys.